rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gary K, and you are watching another pre-InfoComm edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. And today I'm joined with Joel St. Denis. Joel's the Director of Product Management for Christie Digital. Joel, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Gary. It's nice to speak to people again ahead of these large shows.
Yeah, that's an understatement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be nice to see people physically.
Yep.
I missed ISE because I had COVID, but I heard some great things about what you did. And of course, I recorded a video cast prior to ISE, and so I kind of know your integrated approach to what you're doing at the show and how you're kind of pulling everything together in the booth. And of course, Christie always amazes because you have everything connected, integrated really well together into a full system in your booth. Now you're going to be in booth number in the North Hall in 2145. When we go in the booth, when we first walk in, what are we going to be greeted with?
So we have a couple of key features. One of the things that we're going to have right in the middle of the booth is sort of a shatter wall, if you will, of microtiles, 1.25 millimeter, and a really cool display that we haven't shown before. So I think that's going to be eye-catching. People are going to come and see this and see how we're using microtiles in a very cool artistic demonstration. We're going to have a mean sort of large screen 16:9 format showcasing the launch of our brand new Griffin 4K50 pure RGB projector. That'll be the sort of showcase at height. And then on the other side of the booth, we plan on showing a lot of our interconnected products, like you were saying. We're going to have an area focusing on Pandora's box, also showcasing the discrete series LCDs and some other LED technology that we're going to have. And we're also on the left side, we're going to have this cool dual stack of the M4k25 Rgb Projector that we launched back in September during COVID. And this is one of the main shows that we're going to be showcasing it. Dual stack projectors that are going to be projecting on the Christie logo in the background. We're going to have a circular screen that's also being projected from those same projectors. So again, we're trying to show some cool applications of how to use these. And basically the entire signal distribution, getting the content to it is going to be done through Terra, sending the signal around. And then finally, we're going to have a smaller area with a couple Inspire series, one of our new single chip DLP products that we just brought to market, which is fixed lens. That's going to be blended with our Mystique Light alignment system, which I can talk more about through the interview.
Yeah, of course, the Terra is an AV over IP system that uses SDVoE. And you're one of the first, in fact, the first display brand that's integrated AV over IP into the product. I'm curious about the Christie microtiles. I want to go back to that first because that's going to be the first thing that you said is going to greet you. I love that product, as you know. I think that's a really unique product. It allows integrators to do lots of unique things for their clients. And of course, if the clients can be creative, they can kind of visualize anything. But you're providing some really cool tools that really simplify integrating multiple products together. And you demonstrate that really well in your booth. Can you talk about sort of like, the different ways that you pull this stuff together and sort of the secret sauce to making it work? Because I saw the images, obviously, in the video from ISE. The way the logo was even just shown in the booth at ISE. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, the way it was sort of backlit LED. And changing colors, and it was really, I would say, inspiring to other companies to kind of think outside the box a little bit, because we do get in this rectangle conceptually.
Absolutely, and I think you hit it on the head there. What we try to do at Christie, which I feel we're different from a lot of the competitors out there, is we're not just always wanting to just talk about display. We need to talk about how we're getting a signal there, and content is important, and how all of that comes together. And that example you use, we're going to be showing something similar at InfoComm, where we'll have the logo in the front with some content being driven from Pandora's box, and in the background we're going to have that circular screen again, where those same projectors are also doing the background as well, right? And you have multi-layered effects taking place.
And how are you doing that? That's what I was getting to. How do you do that?
So we're effectively using Pandora's box to basically send out different 4K 60 signals to each of the zones that we want to target. Now, we did have the micro tiles in between at IC. We're not going to have that at InfoComm because we're doing something a little bit different. We're using the micro tiles on the Shatter Wall.
Okay.
But effectively, having tools like Pandora's box and Spider working together allows us to really take whatever content we have, distribute wherever we want in the booth at 4K 60, and then especially with Terra, where you have virtually lossless signal distribution using AV over IP, it really gives us the ability to have within our own portfolio, the complete chain from content creation to content distribution to showing it in different aspects, whether it's on flat panels, microtile LEDs, projection. We have the whole gambit of products without having to go and source some third-party components. So that's one of the things that we really want to differentiate ourselves and have been successfully doing that. We're working with our partners and our clients and bringing a complete solution that they can go ahead and install. And if they have, we have a whole group as well at Christie, that fulfillment team that will work with our integrators to help go on and install and train the integrators so that effectively it's much easier for the customers to use systems. And if there's any issue at any point in time, you're talking to Christie, right? Because we own the entire chain, if you will. So that's one of the things we really want to showcase. We feel is important. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff with the micro tiles as well, as you mentioned. We're going to have a couple tech previews on the micro tiles. They're not being launched, but if you're going to be at the show,
version of the micro tiles or what's coming?
Yeah, it's essentially the current version is basically the 1.25 millimeter micro tile, which is going to be featured on the Shatter Wall. We have a new remote power supply that is available for the current micro tile, but there's going to be two tech previews that we're going to be showing. One's going to be a 1 millimeter encapsulated mini LED modules, and you'll be able to see those and handle them. And we'll have a small demo of that, and also the 0.75 mini LED module as well will be there.
Are they the same form factor?
They are the same form factor.
Higher density of LED.
Exactly. And some of them we've put like a fill in there now, so it gives you a better contrast and so on. You're going to see it's one of those things hard to describe over a call.
Fill as in the background is darker, like black, as opposed to like a dark gray.
That's exactly it, and it gives you like it's an awesome image. You're going to see when you come to the booth. Check it out. It's pretty amazing. So,
what version of the Pandora's box are you on now?
So 8.5 is the current shipping version, but we're going to be showcasing 8.6, which is in a beta format, if you will, where we've taken advantage of adding new functionality. I think you talked about this in your last podcast with Thomas, but we've added the integration of Notch, which is a third-party system that is capable of doing real-time third-party effects. That's very popular in the media server space. So we support that definitely on this one, which is great. We've simplified the license model. We've also simplified the server licensing as well. We've added a whole bunch of new functionality, and like anything, we always improve quality of life features as well. So actually, Thomas is going to be at the show as well, so he'll be able to take people through the new version 8.6, and we're going to have 3 stations set up so people can actually play with the interface and the software as well.
Well, the product that I want to finish with the product that is that touches the most people is probably the Inspire series projectors, because it has, it's sort of the widest application, I guess you'd say, products out there. I know that has been a product line that's grown a bit. So talk about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So it is a brand new product that we brought to market. It's a fixed lens one DLP projector. So, you know, having the fact that it's a fixed lens brings it down in price, and it allows us to reach, like you say, a wider audience. We have 3 editions that we've introduced: the 7600, the 8600, and the 9600, and those effectively are reflective of the ISO lumens of each of the platforms. We're going to have 2 9600s with short throw lenses on display in the booth, and we're going to be using Mystique Light, which is a software that we decided to make available at no additional cost to expose more people to Mystique, because we've been selling Mystique for many years, but it was a purchase type system. Now we've opened this up just like we do Twist. There's a free version where you can go and grab yourself a webcam, like a Logitech C920, and you're able to basically, as long as the projectors are on the same network as the camera, you can download the software and do blend up to 3 projectors horizontally very quickly. So we're gonna be showcasing that, but on top of doing that too, if you don't mind, I really did want to also mention the fact that we are going to be launching the Griffin 4K50, which is our latest pure RGB laser projector.
And I'm guessing that's a 50,000 ANSI lumens projector.
Yeah, 50,000 ANSI lumen projector. We showed it as a tech preview at IAC, and people were blown away that we were able to get 50,000 lumens in such a small package. It's under 200 pounds. Like the nearest competitor is over 80 pounds above and larger in size. So what we did is we utilized our Griffin 4K32 product, which we've had for a few years. And during the downtime of COVID, we've been able to focus on re-engineering that product and being able to deliver up to 50,000 lumen in that chassis. So it's amazing. As I said, everybody was blown away, both at the image quality, but at the size of the projector. So it is really the smallest 50,000 lumen projector on the market at the moment. And finally, as I said earlier in the intro, the M4k25s, we're going to have 2 of those stacked, creating that cool multi-layered display. And that product has also been having tremendous success already since we've launched it in September. We've actually sold out of our initial batch. We're waiting on new parts to come in to be able to fill some back orders. But this product is very similar in size to our classic traditional M series that we had, the lamp-based one that we sold over 20,000 units. And effectively now this is bringing it to the RGB with all our new electronics. And both of the projectors, the M4k25 and the 4K50, are able to utilize Rec 2020 color space, up to 98% of that. And we have built-in electronics now, all-in electronics we call them, where instead of having the input cards that we used to have, now all of the inputs are encapsulated in the projector. And finally, I think one of the key points that we really wanted to strive for with these 2 products, we wanted to make sure that our existing customers are able to reuse their lenses and their stacking cages and their accessories. So all of that is compatible moving it forward, making it for an easy transition for customers.
That's critical, especially even companies that use it for rental applications and things like that as well. Or
exactly. That was important to us for sure.
So all this will be in the North Hall in booth 2145. Of course, you can see most of this stuff is already online at christiedigital.com. And of course, we're going to go and shoot individual videos on everything. We're going to shoot every single video station. We're also going to do a booth tour during the show. So you'll be able to see all that coverage at ravepubs.com/InfoComm 2022. Joel St. Denis, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And of course, you can see all of our InfoComm coverage at ravepubs.com. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
rAVe Radio with Rants and Raves.